All right, today I'm going to discuss which step-up version you should choose. Now there's three main types, the Patrick, the Poliquin, and the Petersen. They all have a different purpose and they all have a different strength, so we're going to talk about which one is best for you. Now, let's talk about what the point of the step-up is first. The step-up is working on ankle range of motion, lower leg strength, knee-specific strength around the kneecap, the VMOs and the extensors, and hip extension. So it's a very short range of motion. This is part of the series where we're taking the squat and breaking it down into the top portion, middle portion, bottom portion, and then the outer portion. All right, so notice, within those, there are 4 different sections. The step-ups are working on that top position. Now, with that, there's 3 different types. The first, simplest, and let's say the one you want to start with is going to be the Patrick step. Why? Because it forces you to work on your ankle range of motion. When we're looking at the Patrick step, this top foot is flat. As I lower down and I come back up, I'm forced to work on my ankle range of motion. So you see the knee has to get over the toe. Now, if you can't do that and your ankle lifts, that shows that you don't have the range of motion to work with. And if that stiffness is there, that means you're at risk for injury because your body doesn't have the range of motion to work in effectively. Now, the way you start is flat ground. Reach out in front and come back up. The hips move forward, the knee goes over the toe, and notice, even if I'm just here, and I'm working little by little, or I'm holding on to something, I'm getting a little bit more resiliency and range of motion. And then you work up 2 inches, then 4 inches. Eventually, with the Patrick step, when you get to a set of 10 on each side, at 6 inches, at 6-inch height, that's when you know you've got that down, right? That's the start. And generally, once you have that down, body weight with 6 inches at height for 10 reps, and eventually you can add up to 100% of your body weight on that, then you can move on. That's when we look at, okay, what's the Poliquin step? Now the Poliquin step takes the ankle range of motion out of the equation. We don't have to sit here and think, do my ankles have enough range of motion to bend? Now notice, we don't skip that. That's important. But once we have that, we want to think about loading the knee a little more effectively in this top position. So with this, notice the ankle doesn't have to bend nearly as far over the toe. It's still getting over the toe, but it's not as far as this. This is forcing our body at the VMO and the muscles around the knee to engage and stabilize. The reason that this is important is because the muscles around the knee that stabilize are what keep you strong. Now, you see a lot of people when they go and shift to this, their knees will shake and it gets hard. You want to make sure the hips are forward and that the knee is lined up over the midfoot. And as you're doing this, if the knee starts to shake, it's because this position, this top extension of the hip is not as well trained. So the muscles around the knee need to get stronger. That's what the Poliquin step does, is it develops this. So remember, Patrick step is focused on the ankle, Poliquin step is focused on the knee. Once you have that down, you can do 100% of your body weight for a set of 10, then we want to look at the Petersen step. There's an argument to be made that the Petersen step is the best one to start with for athletes because it's the most challenging, but you have to make sure you have the range of motion and the strength first to be able to do it. Now, why is the Petersen step the best? Because it takes the best of your ankle strength and stimulus and the knee strength at the elevation, and it puts it all into one. Now with the Petersen step, what we're looking at is I raise the heel up. So notice the heel comes off the ground and it holds the same position it would be in the Poliquin step. As I lower it down, I tap the heel and I push back up. So I lower, tap, and push back up. I'm holding this position. So my knee is at this 30 degree, my knee is at a strong bend, it's still getting that stimulation there. The ankle is at this bend, a 30-degree bend, and it's having to actively stabilize it. So see how much my calf and ankle have to work to hold this position as I lower down. The hips go forward and push back up. Now, obviously, if you don't have the strength of the range of motion, you shouldn't start there. But this is the gold standard. If you want to be a competitive athlete and be dominant and not have risk for injury, you have got to be able to master this. It will take time. And you can't run before you walk or crawl, so make sure you do the requisite work to get to that point. But the answer to the question, which is the best step for you? If you have bad ankle range of motion, start with a Patrick step. If you've got good ankles, but you've got weak knees, you're coming off injury, start with a Poliquin step. If you've got good ankle range of motion, you're healthy, and you just need to get stronger, go with a Petersen step. It's gonna be tough, but it's gonna get you the most athletic gains over time. All right, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments below. Subscribe, hit the like button. It really helps out the channel, and share this with someone who needs to get stronger in their lower legs so they don't get injured. I'll see you in the next video.